Hello students, welcome to Learn with Hema's class. My dear students, this video is for ICSE grade 9 students. They have a new syllabus from this year starting from 2023-24. This is the book Treasure Chest, you can see, and this book I will start from this lecture. I'll explain you all the things, entire thing I'll be explaining you one by one. If you like the explanation, if you understand what I teach you, then please do hit the like button and do subscribe my channel and please share it with your friends. So this video we are going to do, it's the first poem of this book, that is a work of artifice written by March Piercy. Now before going ahead, you all have to please make sure that before reading any work of any writer or any poet, any author, you have to read this box part. The box part which is given in the book. That is important. Why it is important? So that you have a little background of when this work was done, when this poem was written. What were the conditions for the poet what were the mood of the poet when the poet have written this poem? Okay. So let's learn very quickly. We'll go ahead. March Piercy, born date is given March 31, 1936 till present, that is she is still alive. She was born in Detroit, Michigan. So it's a birthplace. She is an American progressive activist and writer. Piercy was the first member of her family to attend college, winning a scholarship to attend the University of Michigan. So she was the first person in her family to attend the college. Piercy developed a love of books when she came down with the German, measles and rheumatic fever in her mid-childhood and could do little but read. It taught me that there is a different world there. See, now this part is again important. Why? How she started writing. What made her, what compelled her, what prompted her to write. See, when she was very young, that is around maybe 12-13 years old, she suffered from this fever. Rheumatic fever and German measles, you can say, and because of that she was bedridden, sick, which made her turn to the books because she could not do anything on the bed. So she started reading books. So while reading books, what she said, these were her words: it taught me that there is a different world there. That means reading books, she is entirely into a different world. Piercy, married to her current husband Ira Woods, lives in Wellfleet. Now this is her social life, her marriage and all, where she lives. Piercy designed their home where the couple have been living since 1970s. So Piercy herself have designed her home and they have been living there since 1970s. Now about her works, what she has done. Her works includes Women on the Edge of Time, He, She and It, which won the 1993 Arthur C. Clarke Award, and Gone to Soldiers, which was a New York Times bestseller. And a sweeping historical novel, that means she has written a historical novel as well, right, which was set during World War II. Piercy's work is rooted in her Jewish heritage, communist social and political activism, and feminist ideals. She was, you can say, influenced by her culture, and all this was because of her mother basically. Her father was a non-Jew, but still she had more impact of her mother than her father, and she was she had a feminist ideas. That means she was more towards the feminist writing. That is, she wrote more on women. She looked around. She was a very good observer. She looked around. She saw that what kind of injustices are being done on women, and she wrote them down, and they are very true. Up to a certain level, they are very true. Now here in this poem we are talking about why has the poet chosen the metaphor of a bonsai tree. Now bonsai means a loss of growth and freedom. Now here this poem, when we start, literally when we start, it's about a tree. We understand that it's about a bonsai tree. But when we read the poem further, we understand that bonsai tree stands for women. Now what is the relation between these two? When we read the poem, we'll understand it. First let us go through this. Why has the poet chosen the metaphor of a bonsai tree? Bonsai means a loss of growth and freedom. It also implies life without space to grow. Now bonsai, what does it actually mean? The bonsai means that there is a loss of growth and freedom. That means there is no growth, there is no freedom. You can grow, you can have your freedom, but you are not allowed to do it. So that is what a metaphor is used of a bonsai tree for a woman. Throughout a work of artifice, an extended metaphor of a bonsai tree is used. When we'll go through the poem, it's a very beautiful, wonderful poem, very easy to understand, and the fact of life has been mentioned over here, that how closely the Marge Piercy have observed women's life. An extended metaphor of bonsai tree is used over here. The bonsai tree represents a woman over here. The poet questions. Now at the end there is a question also, right? The poet questions is, if women were just materials of interior decoration, how we keep a pot inside our house as a decorative piece. So are women also that? Women were expected to remain confined to the interiors and to do the household tasks. In the olden days, it was a fact that women were basically confined to remain in the interiors, in the indoors only, and do only the household chores. At that time, this poem was best suitable for the life of a woman. But this time, present time, we can say that there is drastic change in the life of a woman. They were expected to understand their limits. In the olden days, they were expected, like people expected from them that they know their limits and they have to live within their limits, and that they are tightly tied to their responsibilities or their roots, like whatever they are, wherever they are born, they live there only and they die there only. This was the thing. A bonsai tree's roots and branches are pruned and tightly tied so it does not grow to its real size. So very beautiful poem this is, very meaningful poem, and it was a fact which was presented by her in her writings. A work of artifice, this poem explanation that we are going to start now, very beautiful poem, very meaningful it is. Let's first understand what is the meaning of artifice. Artifice means trickery, cleverly tricked. A man cleverly tricks a woman. This is what the poet have tried to imply or to put in this poem. If you talk about the theme of the poems, I have opted for two. You can suggest any other theme if you think that it aptly suits the poem. It can be trickery of men, and second, it can be oppression of women. A man tricks, a woman is oppressed. So this is what I have assumed, two themes. There can be many if you think. So let's start with the poem. The bonsai tree in the attractive pot could have grown 80 feet tall on the side of a mountain till split by lightning. Now these first 5 lines, it's talking about the bonsai tree in the beginning. The poet is saying that the bonsai tree, which is in the attractive pot inside the house and is used as a piece of decoration or a decorative material, and this bonsai tree, which is very small and kept inside the house, if it was not inside the house and it was supposed to grow outside on the slopes of a mountain or on the sides of a mountain, then it would have grown 80 feet tall. 80 feet high it would have grown. It would have grown so high. But if it would have grown so high, it would have been damaged by lightning or any external factors. So he tells about the bonsai tree, that the bonsai tree, right now it is in the pot, safe, sound, secured. But if suppose this tree was to be grown outside on the sides of the mountain, it would have grown 80 feet. And there it would have got damaged, died, killed. But a gardener carefully pruned it. It is 9 inches high. But here the bonsai tree, which could have grown 80 feet high if grown outside, the gardener have made that tree to grow in a pot, and it has pruned its branches to make it just grow to 9 feet high, not more than that. Every day as he whittles back the branches, whittles back means reduces the size of the branches. Every day as he whittles back the branches, the gardener croons. And while doing this, while reducing the size of the branches, while wiring it or giving it shape or reducing its size, the gardener is singing. And what he is singing? It is your nature to be small and cozy, domestic and weak. How lucky little tree to have a pot to grow in. He sings that it is your nature to be small. It is your nature that you are weak. You are domestic. That is, you stay indoors only, not grow outside. Indoors only. And you are very lucky that you little tree, you are very lucky that you have a pot to grow in. So here now this part is very important to understand. Here now the gardener says to the pot, that is, this is an apostrophe figure of speech where the gardener is talking to a tree or a pot, you can say. Tree, you can say. The gardener is talking to the tree. The gardener says that it is your nature. So it is apostrophe. Okay. To be small and cozy. Domestic and weak. Now this line says, domestic and weak, this line says that the gardener somewhere is talking about women. The gardener could now stand for husband or lover of a woman, and here the tree could stand for a woman. Okay, the wife, you can say, or the girlfriend or the wife. And the pot stands for the four walls of the house, or you can say the house, the pot. So he says domestic and weak. So here we symbolize pot, tree and the gardener. To pot is your house, tree is for women, and gardener is for lover. And the gardener says that you are very lucky that you have a pot to grow in. So man says that to the woman that you are very lucky that you have a house to stay in, to stay protected. With living creatures, one must begin very early to dwarf their growth. Now, see this part. To living creatures, one must begin very early. Now, here they are talking creatures. This word has been used, creatures. Now, what do you mean by creatures? When this word creatures is used, something that comes to our mind is about insects, monsters, animals. Now, here they have said for living creatures, one must begin very early to dwarf their growth. So, what is this living creature? They are talking about a girl that at the very early age, they have to stop their growth, dwarf their growth, stunt their growth, or retard their growth. These are the synonyms which you can use for dwarf. See now here, the bound feet. This is very important. The bound feet, in Japan and China, there was a culture of bound feet, which means that at a very early age, the fingers of the leg, leaving the toe, the fingers of the leg were folded and they were tied very tightly so that the four fingers, they stay inside only. It was a very cruel culture, and now that has been banned. In the year 1857, it was banned, this culture. And this culture was also known having lotus feet, as having lotus feet, that the women have a feet shape of a lotus. There were special shoes for that. If you want, you can check on Google. The dwarf feet. This is a Japanese culture, you can say. And these feet, they were made at a very early age. They used to start tying this leg so that their legs get that particular shape over a period of time, and their legs remain small, stunted. Their growth remains stunted. So the bound feet, this symbolizes that culture. Okay. And to make them the crippled brain. And at that time, this is the age when they do not allow their brain also to grow. That is, they imbibe such things in their brain or harm them in such a manner that their brain do not grow. The crippled brain. So it is suggestive, this crippled brain, this line is suggestive that they talk about a stunted growth. Stunted mental growth. Mentally, a child, when we say matured, mentally a girl child is not mature. So that is called a stunted growth, crippled brain. The hair in curlers, Now what is a curler? Curler is the instrument. How we have straightening machine, the same way we have a curling machine, curlers which we call as, which gives the curls to your hair. And why are curls given to the hair? So that one looks attractive, one looks beautiful. So this is the culture. They want the woman to look beautiful, attractive. Okay, but they don't want the woman to grow. Don't want the woman to give, don't want to give women her freedom. But still, the last two lines, it's presenting an irony over here. The last two lines. The hands you love to touch. That means here, the men oppress the women, subjugate the women, various ways, but still the man is hoping that the woman in return give love to the man. How can this be possible? So this is a question which is imposed in these last two lines, which is an irony. You torture, or you are very rude to a woman, or you can say you dwarf their growth, and in return you want love from them. It is not possible. In today's time it is not possible, but in those days it was expected that the girls accept this situation willingly, and willingly the girl obeys whatever is being said by men. So this is about the entire poem. It's a metaphorical poem where the bonsai tree stands for a woman, pot stands for domestic, four walls of the house, or you can say the tree stands for a woman, pot stands for a house, and the gardener stands for the lover. So this is the metaphor which is used in the entire poem, and it has been shown by this work of Marge POC that how closely she has observed that time. So here we end our poem, and about the poem's question and answers I will be definitely giving you in the next video. So good night for now, take care, and we'll soon see in the other video. And if you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and also share it with your friends. Bye bye.